Hi, this is Sheila. Welcome back to the Crochet Nurse channel. Today what we're going to do is a yarn review on Hobby Lobby's Yarn Bee Marblesque yarn. The last time I was out to Hobby Lobby, I picked up this brand of yarn in several colors, as you can see. And today I'd like to just talk to you about the yarn and give you my opinion. And then at the end, I'll, on a scale of 1 to 10, kind of rank the yarn, see, where it falls. So first off, let's take a quick look at the yarn. The real price of the yarn is $5.49, but I got it on clearance for, I think it was $1.32. It is a 3.5 ounce ball, comes in 216 yards. It comes, like I say, a multitude of colors. The yarn itself is a 3.5 ounce ball, 100 grams, 216 yards, and it's a blend of acrylic, wool, and alpaca. Machine wash and no drying. It's a size 4, and it is recommended to use an I9 5.5 millimeter hook, which is the hook that I used with it. And so that helps the yarn come out pretty good. It has pretty good stitch definition with that hook size. So let's take a closer look at these colors, just so you can kind of get a better idea of them. So this up close and personal here is the lilac, and you can see that it's a tubular style yarn, and you can see that lilac is kind of a muted color, and that alpaca kind of just flows off of that, gives that little bit of hairiness to it. So as you may already guess, it might do a little snagging for you. Very pretty. If you dig into the ball of yarn, you're going to see that that color is pretty saturated throughout. Even though I'm flecking it like this yarn does not have a sheen. At least this colorway does not have a sheen to it. It is pretty flat in color. Let's take a look at the yellow. Now this one does have a sheen. And look at that gorgeous yellow. You dig in there, and it's just more and more yellow of loveliness. This is not a roving yarn. I found it was a size 4 all the way throughout. Now let's look at the gray. And this is a muted gray. The camera is showing it true. It's kind of like a light steel gray, very pretty. And this one shows a little bit of sheen, and it does have a little bit of sheen to it. Not too much, but a little bit. The lilac has none, the yellow has a sheen, and the gray has a bit. But this blue here, now this one is very pretty, and this one absolutely has a sheen. And you can see that it's just a little bit deeper than a baby blue. And just a gorgeous color. That the alpaca is giving it that little bit of hairiness, but that acrylic is making it soft. So let's work up a little swatch here. I'll just do a slip knot and do a little chain. And you can see how easily it slides off the hook. Very nice to work with. Now, it has that, like I shared, it has that alpaca in it, and it has a little bit of wool. So anybody who's allergic to wool, you want to be very mindful of that for this product here. The alpaca, usually for somebody who's allergic to wool, they can tolerate the alpaca a little bit easier, but unfortunately, the Marblesque has both alpaca and wool in it, so if you can tolerate the alpaca but not wool, you probably would want to stay away from this because of the wool content. Now, feeling this yarn, working with it and feeling this yarn, it is super soft, and I do not feel the roughness that sometimes we would associate with the wool. Do not feel it at all. This is a soft and squishy yarn, very nice to work with. and as you can see, the hook just glides right through the yarn, and it just works up really nicely. As I showed at the beginning, this is a size 4 yarn, and it absolutely is true to that, size 4 size. So the I-9 hook works really well, or the I-5.5 works really well for it. So that's probably about enough to kind of give you a feel for how this flows. So let's take a closer look. That gives you a little bit of an idea of the stitch definition. And as you can see, that alpaca and that wool, you can see how hairy it is. It kind of jumps right out at you. Overall, I like the yarn. There is something that I don't like about it, and I'm going to show you that as we move forward here. It is actually, this yarn does not like to be frogged. And as you can imagine, with that alpaca hair and the wool hair sticking out on it, it doesn't like to be frogged. It's doing it for me right now, but yep, there it is, catching. Yep, but it likes to catch. And the harder that you tug it, it'll actually turn into a nice little knot, which is not a good way to go here. And I got one there. There, I got it. But overall, aside from that, I like this yarn. If I had to give it a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it an 8. The reason it wouldn't be higher would be because of the frogging. Love the colors. The frogging is a concern, and the other piece is the cost. Otherwise, it would be a solid 9 or 10 for me. But hey, listen, if you want to see a project that I've already worked with this yarn, catch the video that's on the screen right now. It's a tutorial in that you can kind of jump in there and do. Go ahead and go click on that now. All right, y'all. Have a great day.